It's time for the talking to stop and the fighting to start. This should be good. I'm Todd Grisham. Next to me is Johnny Nelson.
About time, too.
It's time now for our tale of the tape. Up first, ice cold. And facing him here is this man, Alexander Usyk, 6'3", and 198-centimeter reach.
You've got power, you've got fight. It's like somebody blocked the sun out. Then you've got someone that's shorter, that's lighter, that's smaller. They've got to move, they've got to use their speed, depend on their boxing skills. If you can do that, if you can outbox them, you can beat anybody that's in front of you.
First up, ice cold from Canada. Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion and heavyweight champion of the world.
This bout is scheduled for 15 rounds of boxing. In the red corner from Canada, wearing the blue trunks with blue trim, Ice Cold. Fighting out of the blue corner, and now from Crimea in Ukraine, here is an undisputed cruiserweight world champion and an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Alexander Usyk.
Expectations are sky high for this fight. Will it live up to the hype? We're about to find out.
Todd, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here at this venue. It's going to be something special.
What a great venue and what a great matchup. Cannot wait for this one.
Hey, look at this.
High hopes for this battle between these two athletes. He threw a punch and just got countered. Throwing the hook, but it doesn't score. You don't want to trade shots. There's not a seat to be had in this arena, Johnny. It's got that big fight feel, doesn't it?
You can walk into an arena and be the hero. The pressure, the expectation, the desire from the fans. You can't get away from it. Ignore them. Lock it up. I know it's hard. I can hardly hear you, Todd. You've got to ignore them. Get on with your job.
Misses with that uppercut. Straight right just misses. Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? This slugger has a unique mentality, doesn't he, Johnny? He just wants to win by knockout. He says if we go to the scorecards, it's a failure for me.
If you get in with a slugger, they want to work at their own pace. Use speed, frustrate them, take them out of their comfort zone, make them tired, trip over their own feet, get them angry.
Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
That hook just can't find the target. Incredible firepower from both of these heavyweights. Neither one of them want this to go to the judges' scorecards. They miss with the jab.
Ooh.
Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. Misses with the straight left. Very close round with 10 seconds to go.
What the fuck?
big trouble here. He may have been saved by the bell.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, Bell, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
Good round. I like that. I'm happy. Relax now. I don't want you to look.
Okay, you let... Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
If you're a counter puncher, then basically you do the counter attack. You let them get their punch off first, and then you answer in kind.
Hard, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
They both want a knockout, you can tell. Beautiful counter punch. One punch could change everything in this battle. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. When you're fighting a massive heavyweight like this, you can't go toe-to-toe. You gotta stick and move and use angles.
There's an old saying, a good big one will always beat a good little one.
Catch and shoot. Here's the halfway point, and both of these fighters know the round is still up for grabs.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
That counter punch caught him clean. Didn't land that jab. Punch, counter punch. He misses with that straight left. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Can't land the jab there. Left hook just missed. Through the straight left, but it won't score. A perfect counter lands. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. What would you tell this guy? He's got to do something different.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
Come on, breathe. Breathe. Just get your breath back. Keep thinking.
There's the bell to start round 3. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Beautiful counter shot. The positives and negatives in the heavyweight division are the same. You can win the fight with one punch, and you can lose the fight in one punch. That counter shot lands. Jab slightly off target. Both men step back for just a moment. When are we going to see a jab from these two? What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. Just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
And he wasn't ready for that counterpunch. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Missing with the hook. And Ice Cold has been knocked down.
Ooh!
Imagine seeing this punch coming and not...
1, 2, 3, 4. Are you okay?
So back into the fray again, but how much do they have left?
Oh, he can smell blood. Look at that. He's put in down once. He knows what shot works and where to land it. Then try and do it again. He's just not got to get trigger happy.
What heart, what desire, but at what cost? One punch could change anything when these two step away. So final 10 seconds of the round, and he is looking really sharp. Well, wait a minute. And we may see a stoppage here. You've got to wonder how big of a factor that knock.
Don't worry about it.
And there's the bell to start round 4. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
This is the heavyweight division. One punch could end this fight.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you've cheated, now we're going to find out.
It's knockout or bust for both of these fighters. Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. And he scores with the counter. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Oh, man.
Only catching air with that hook. Missing with that jab. They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
One moment changes everything, especially in this division. Swinging big and missing big with that hook. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. Stamina is off the charts. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go.
Back together.
And there's the bell for round 5. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him off just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
One punch changes everything in this division. It's the heavyweight.
Oh!
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Stamina is off the charts. That big hook doesn't land. Those counter punches have to hurt. Well done with that counter shot. How about that time counter shot? There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
Todd, look back in history. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran. The first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight, stand there toe-to-toe. The second fight, he thought, this guy's aggressive. He's nasty. He'll do everything to get the win. I've got to box him. I've got to frustrate him. I've got to humiliate him and show him how good a boxer I am. That's the only way you beat an aggressive fighter. Show your boxing skills. Step out the way. Don't fight fire with fire. Use brain over brawn.
Stamina is off the charts. The only fear you have with this heavyweight is has he punched himself out? You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. A lot of effort being exerted here. Very competitive round with 10 seconds left. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on.
It's when you talk about championship material.
I need you to win this round. Get your mind back, get your focus back, get that jab back. Great round, now relax. Good work out there, the job's work. Okay, now you're switching off. You've been coasting this fight, and now you're going to let him get back in.
On to the 6th round. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
How do they use this fighter's aggression against them?
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Someone tell these two that they can be defensive for a minute if they want to. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Good counter punch. We hear that old phrase, second win. You've got to find it somehow.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
Nice counter. This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. He misses with that straight left. These are heavyweights, but I tell you what, that hand speed and footwork, they look like middleweights.
Don't get trigger happy, because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself out trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
A perfect counter shot. He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. They blocked the left there. That jab doesn't score. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Stamina is always an issue in a prize fight.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing out.
Great work. I love that. I love that. Jab slick. Oh, what was that? What are you doing? Come on, you're switching up.
And there's the bell to start round 7. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
That left hook won't score. Incredible work rate. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Good counter punching. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim them, go for speed.
Neither one of these fighters want to see the judges' scorecards. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Misses with the straight left. The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. And the big cat goes down. Thank goodness we've got instant replay. We get to see it again.
Shot from the gods, they say. A shot from the gods. One, two, three, four. Listen to me. Are you okay?
Final 10 seconds here, and the corner better get warmed up. They've got some work to do. It's not over till it's over, but that knockdown is going to be huge.
I love the response, though. Got back up, took a deep breath, thought, right, brush it off, get on with the job.
right stick. Come on, you're better than that. You've done all your work all the way through.
Round 8, and we're off again. Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff him.
Generally speaking, you don't watch heavyweights to see a boxing match. You want to see a fist fight.
This is about ego. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance? Step out of the way, box him. Frustrate him, because if you let him get away with it, he'll close you down.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. They exchange punches. Holding nothing back here in the round. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Big hook thrown, but it doesn't connect. There's nothing quite like a big heavyweight fight. Everything can change with one punch.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Blocks the straight left. He misses with that jab. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. How much cardio was put in for this fight? It may come down to that.
There's a lot on the line here.
Smart. You weren't loading up, but you're still letting your power show. Good work. Don't forget the jab. Don't. Come on, you want to win this fight. I need you to switch back over.
And there's the bell for round 9. That 1 minute break surely wasn't enough for him to completely recover.
What were they doing that round? Are they trying to get an earning out? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain then.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Incredible work rate. Don't let this fighter's speed fool you. There's some method to the madness. These are precision shots, and they're coming at lightning speed.
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
Swing and a miss with that jab. The stamina is off the charts. looking to land the hook. Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It can all come down to who's in better shape.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Nice counter shot. They're both trying for a knockout. Can't find a home for that jab. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. The big Ukrainian in big trouble. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have.
It's when you talk about championship material.
One shot at a time. Set him up. Would you take him out? He's too tired. What you doing? Come on.
And here comes the 10th round. They really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
This with that jab. Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. There's a counter shot. Nice counter shot. The jab not finding its target. They hit like heavyweights, but they move like middleweights. Truly elite level stuff here.
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little faggot and pickpocket him.
His stamina is off the charts. Holding nothing back here in the round. Is he going to punch himself out, though? One punch could end this fight for either of these two heavyweights.
Some fighters are just gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Lucky that hook didn't score. His stamina is off the charts. Nice counter punch. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. We've heard the old phrase, this might come down to who wants it more, but it might come down to who's in better shape.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing out.
Great round. Great round. Now relax. Relax. Get your focus back. Get that jump back.
Let's start 11. How much is left in their tank after last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in.
What can they change? They can change their attitude. They can change their nervous system for a certain amount of punches per round. Because otherwise, if they deviate from the game plan, they're going to be shattered once again and the fight will be over.
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. This fighter... Did you see that? Oh my, the Ukrainian has been rattled. And apparently no rest for the weary. Thought about taking a breath, but instead, they're in there throwing bombs again.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense, work on defense, blocking and stopping and shooting.
Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than happy.
They threw the hook, it didn't land. I want to think of holding on here for a minute. Nice counter. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. A swing and a miss with the left hook. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Start wondering how much work these two fighters did in the gym.
There's a lot on the line here.
Switch back on. Get focused. Get your mind back on the job.
And there's the bell to start round 12. Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round.
What were they doing that round? Are they trying to get an earning out? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
They're both looking for the knockouts here, and that's what we expect from heavyweights.
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you're there and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Swing and a miss with the jab. Good counter punch. Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Misses with the straight left. Nice counter. As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a terror. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
A very competitive round here so far.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
The only fear you have with this heavyweight is has he punched himself out? Missed him with that uppercut. Misses with the straight left. He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. They exchange punches. Beautiful counter shot. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Stamina is always an issue in a prize fight.
This is when you talk about championship material.
You don't want to lose this fight, do you? Come on. You've let him...
They ring the bell, and here we go. Let's see how much recovery they saw there in the last minute.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
If you're in with a powerful puncher, you know you've got to use brain, use smarts over it, because that powerful puncher knows he can depend on that power alone and neglect the technical side. You've got to be smart, frustrate them, use their own power against themselves.
And he scores with the counter. A perfect counter shot. Just missed with that hook. The unified heavyweight champion is down. Now that is a massive knockdown. Let's take another look.
Even I've got to see that again. Where did that come from?
Apparently it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
Some fighters, when this happens, this can be heartbreaking. Some fighters, it makes them angry. Then they get back into the mix again. I want to know, what sort of character are we looking at here?
Need to pick things up here in the second half of the round.
It's that forever hope. Remember the fighter Evander Holyfield? He could be behind on points until the last 10 seconds, but he's fighting like he's going to pull it back. That's the kind of hope we need to see.
What heart, what desire, but at what cost? There's been a significant aggression difference in this fight, Johnny. What do you see?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
Misses with the jab. A perfect counter shot. A lot of effort being exerted here. As we enter the final 10 seconds here, it's probably a round he'd rather forget. That'll be a 10-8 round for sure with the knockdown.
You've been put down, you've got to think right, survive, and then give it back the next round.
You. That's it. Starts. Listen, you switched off. What's he doing?
We're hoping for an all-action slugfest. He couldn't finish him off in the last round. Let's see what this has in store for us.
Todd, listen to me. If I knock somebody down like that round, you know this round coming out? He's getting everything, full barrel, because I know his legs are gone. So this, you watch what's going to happen. If he doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.
fighter is sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
So you're getting in there with somebody that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Misses with the straight left. The only fear you have with this fighter is has he punched himself out? Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can...
Oh my goodness, Johnny! Usyk might go down here. What an upset! And right back into the fray.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. That counter shot lands. Incredible work rate. Nice defense on that hook. Those counter punches have to hurt. You know the scorecards are going to be all... Hold that thought! Oh, and there's no way they're getting up from that. It is a clean knockout. You could see it in their eyes. They saw that punch coming, and there was nothing they could do.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
Are you okay? You're out of there.
It happened. You saw it here live. A knockout win. Congratulations.
What a build-up. What a journey towards this fight. What a fight itself. The crowd enjoyed it. The fighters enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. And what a way to end the fight. There's no mistake there about who won. What a shot.